I'm gonna start this video by saying this. If you want to have the best possible experience playing Outer Wilds, I and many others would advise you to go into the game completely blind. However, this review will not contain any spoilers, and unlike other reviews I've seen that show you some of the game mechanics, I will not be showing you any of them. During my playthrough, I learned about these mechanics myself, and it made me appreciate the game so much more than if I had already known about them going into the game. Even if you choose to Google Outer Wilds, I would say it contains mechanics or ideas about the game that could be considered spoilers. But if you want to know more about the game than what I talk about in this video, feel free, but do so with caution to avoid spoiling it for yourself. Outer Wilds is an adventure game that's all about exploring the solar system and the space within it. You play as a blue, four-eyed creature who's selected to go explore space, equipped with nothing but your ship, spacesuit, signal scope, and Nomai translator. You don't know much about the Nomai aside from the fact that they arrived into the solar system a long time ago. Everything else, such as why they came, where they came from, what they wanted, and whether or not any remain in the universe, is fully up to you to discover. The game progresses as you explore by giving you nothing but new information about environments or different game mechanics, which will help you discover more information or help you access areas you may not have known how to access before, or that you may not have known even existed in the first place. This information is crucial as it is all the game gives you in terms of progress. Nothing else. There's no ship upgrades, no suit upgrades, no mystical weapon that helps you beat some boss. Everything you need to beat the game is given to you right at the start. How to beat it is up to you to discover. Outer Wilds gives you the liberty to go wherever you want right outside the gate. The game doesn't have a clear path of how to progress, so each player's experience with the game will be completely different. You never have to worry about trying to retain all the information at once, as your ship will store all the key dialogue and information you learn about, but it's only accessible inside the ship, so don't lose your ship. The game will never tell you where to go, and it will never give you any primary, secondary objectives to complete. If you get stuck on some puzzle, you either keep trying until you figure it out, or you leave it until you access new information to make the solution obvious. None of the puzzles in this game are inherently difficult. They can't be. They all just rely on the player's understanding of how certain things work and executing appropriately. The amazing aspect of this game is that learning about the mechanics of each planet and certain other game elements is far from boring, as it keeps everything dynamic by always having a certain important application somewhere within the game, making seemingly impossible tasks become easy to get through. The ability for the game to let you do whatever you want right out the gate means that every player's playthrough will result in completely unique experiences, because while one person may progress in some sort of chronological order, someone may find some super late game information and just have no idea of how to apply it until much later on. When you start this game, everything that's thrown at you is all super new. You literally feel like a child with a new toy because anywhere you go, you get new stuff. You don't know how anything works and you want to go everywhere and just see everything. As you start to gain information, the feeling doesn't really fade because you start accessing more and more areas that you may not have known even existed or just simply couldn't access earlier on. On top of this, you get even more detailed information about the game and the story it plays out for you. Once you hit the later and late stages of the game, it's up to the player to piece everything together, which leads to an extremely rewarding experience and feeling once you eventually crack the last few puzzles and put everything together, making the whole solar system feel like it functions as one individual unit, with how well all the unique features from all the different planets interact with one another. And the beauty is, you never truly know how close you are to the end. On my playthrough, I thought I was at the end of the game on 5 separate occasions, where I solved things that I didn't understand prior, only to be met with even more information that I haven't even considered would be possible to exist within the scope of the game. Sometimes you just gotta keep trying new things, fly into a tornado, explore the caves, you're gonna probably die a bunch, and sometimes maybe even consider jumping into a black hole. Outer Wilds provides a visual experience that makes the environments feel truly alive. Its art style is simple, but very effective, which gives each planet, as well as the darkness of space, its own feeling which is crucial to an exploration game. The style is extremely fitting for the game, and while simplistic in some areas, never seems to lack in any aspect as everywhere you go is just so nice. There was never a time in my playthrough where I thought anything would be taken away by the style used, and it made finding new locations and exploring new planets that much more exciting, because they varied heavily in how they looked, but that just made this art style truly work well. The art direction also led to some amazing scenes when just flying around in the spaceship, which is just a huge plus. You're just able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the view. I honestly don't know a single other game where the music has had such a large impact on my experience. I literally cannot begin to describe how well every song fit into whatever situation it came up in, and it just made the experiences that much more immersive. The music makes the game so much more ominous, happy, upbeat, mysterious, sad, creepy. Whatever the situation, the music really brought this game to the next level. The music is so good that I saw comments from videos about the game after I beat it, obviously to avoid spoilers, that people bought the game solely because the music from the game was so good. And that's why I've been playing in the background of this entire video. I honestly don't really care if I get a copyright strike on this review. Like, it's probably worth it. Like, I hope I don't get striked, but I mean, if I do, like, it is what it is. This game is currently selling on Steam for about $25 USD, and if that's too much, it goes on sale semi-regularly, so make sure to put it on your wish list. It's also free on the Xbox Game Pass if you have a console, and if you are, unlike other games, you aren't really losing out on getting this game on console, because it's inherently easier to play with a controller. I highly recommend you give this game a try. I know I and many others that have played it put it in their top 5 games of all time. If not, I know for me it's my favorite single player of all time, and it is not even close. If you feel like you would be down for one of the best adventures you could experience, I highly recommend picking this one up and seeing for yourself how amazing of an experience an indie game could make with a creative idea. On one last note, you must be wondering whether or not this game is replayable. As you know, some single player games you could play over and over and over again just because there's a gajillion things to unlock, find, see, whatever. If you Google how long this game takes to complete, it says roughly 20 to 30 hours, which is quite accurate because on my playthrough it took me about 23 to 25 hours to make it from start to end. But again, that depends on how much time you just spend admiring the view and exploring. Realistically, you're gonna need to find most of the information in the game to be able to beat it, assuming you don't search up any guides or anything else, which I highly am against for this game specifically, because if you hit a wall, you're gonna find a way to beat it. It's not impossible. Read through your logs, revisit some areas, I'm sure you'll find the solution, and it's all gonna be okay. With this said, I wouldn't say this game is very replayable unless you're just looking to fly around in the ship and enjoy the environments again with the nice music. Because you likely aren't going to forget all the mechanics in the game and all the key solutions to the puzzles and mysteries. Unlike a game like Portal or something else where you might forget solutions to puzzles and you're going to have to keep like grinding through them, like if you haven't played for a few years, it's kind of hard in this game because it's more knowledge based than just puzzle oriented, which again makes it a unique experience, which is worth experiencing in the first place. Personally, I beat this game a few days ago, I think about 5 days ago, and if I were to try and launch it right now and beat it as fast as possible, I would probably be able to beat it in less than an hour because I already know the solutions to all the main puzzles to get to the very end. But I also do see myself picking this game up in about a year or so, and just listening to the tunes as I drift through the darkness of space in my humble little spaceship. That's about all I have to say for this review. I'm not going to give this game a number just because I think that's kind of dumb and arbitrary. Just honestly, if what you saw or heard sparked your interest at all, I highly recommend you get this game. If you get on Steam, you can always refund within 2 hours of getting it. And trust me, if you get bored of it somehow, you're gonna know that within 2 hours because you'll catch on to some very interesting mechanics very early on. And yeah, that's gonna be the conclusion to this review. If you watched all the way through, consider dropping a like if this helped inform your decision at all. Consider subbing to the channel for more game reviews and some other content coming very soon. And make sure you let me know in the comments if there's any other games you'd like me to cover, or if you agree, disagree with some of my points. Do you enjoy this game? Have you played this game yet? And yeah, let me know how it was. On that note, that's going to be all for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.